There's a kind of pain nobody talks about. The pain that comes from staying the same. The quiet suffering of playing small, pretending you're fine, convincing yourself that comfort is peace when it's really decay. You tell yourself you're avoiding pain, but you're not. You're trading one kind of pain for another. You're choosing the pain of regret over the pain of growth. And that choice, repeated daily, builds the walls of your own prison. The pain you avoid becomes the prison you live in. If you're someone who's tired of feeling stuck, if you know there's more inside you, but you've been avoiding the work it takes to bring it out, hit that like button and join us for more weekly motivation. Let's build your mindset together. Every morning, millions of people wake up tired. Not from lack of sleep, but from lack of purpose. They scroll through their phones, chasing small bursts of pleasure, telling themselves they'll start tomorrow. They want to change. They talk about changing, but every time discomfort shows up, they retreat. They silence their ambition and call it patience. They choose the easier path, again and again, until that path becomes their identity. Maybe you've been there. You wake up with big intentions, but by noon, the old habits pull you back. You say, "I'll start when I feel ready." But readiness never comes. And deep down, you know the truth. You're not waiting for the right time. You're avoiding the hard time, the painful one, the one that demands change. It's not just you. Look around. People avoid discomfort in every form. They quit the gym after a week because it hurts. They abandon dreams because rejection stings. They drown their potential in distractions because silence forces reflection. Comfort has become the modern drug, cheap, accessible, and deadly to your potential. But the people who grow, the ones who build something real, they all have one thing in common. They stopped running from the pain. They faced it. They understood that growth is supposed to hurt. That discomfort is the doorway. That on the other side of resistance lives freedom. Think of anyone you admire, the athlete, the entrepreneur, the artist. Their stories aren't about comfort. They're about confrontation. They met their limits head on. They trained when tired, worked when uninspired, pushed when scared. They used pain as their teacher, not their excuse. Here's why this matters. Your brain is wired to avoid pain. It's a survival mechanism. But in modern life, that same instinct works against you. The Yerkes-Dodson law tells us that optimal performance happens under moderate stress. Not too little, not too much. In other words, a bit of discomfort is where growth actually happens. Yet, most people chase ease, not excellence. They live just below their threshold, never stretched, never broken open, never reborn. The moment something feels hard, your mind whispers, "Later." But every later strengthens avoidance. And avoidance rewires your brain to associate effort with fear. You're not lazy, you're conditioned. You've trained yourself to retreat, and the only way out is through deliberate exposure. You must retrain your brain to see pain as progress. Let me ask you something. How long have you been stuck in the same cycle? The same excuses, the same promises, the same start-stop story. You keep telling yourself you'll start when it's easier, but the truth is, it never gets easier. You just get stronger. The pain won't disappear, but your relationship with it will change. Because when you stop fearing pain, it stops controlling you. Some people spend their whole life running from discomfort, never realizing it was their coach, not their enemy. You can't outrun pain. You can only upgrade it. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. There's a man I know who wakes up at 4:30 every morning, not because he loves it, but because he respects it. He trains before sunrise. He builds his dream after work. He's tired, but he's free. Then there's another man, same age, same job, same city. He sleeps in, complains about time, blames his circumstances. He avoids the struggle, but he's trapped by his own comfort. One man endures pain for progress. The other endures pain for nothing. The only difference between them is choice. Every time you face pain with purpose, your brain rewires. Neuroplasticity means your mind adapts to your behavior. When you push through resistance, your brain builds new pathways that associate effort with reward instead of fear. That's how habits are born. That's how confidence is built. You start realizing that pain isn't a wall. It's a signal. It's your body's way of saying, you're growing. Your identity is not fixed. It's sculpted by repetition. Every time you face something hard, you're proving to your subconscious that you're capable, that you're no longer the person who quits when it hurts. You're becoming someone who runs toward resistance because that's where the real change happens. You always have two choices, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One is temporary, the other permanent. Discipline hurts now, but builds later. Regret feels easy now, but destroys later. And if you look closely, the pain of action and the pain of avoidance are both hard. But one of them takes you somewhere. The other traps you where you are. You can't escape pain. You can only choose your version of it. The question is, will you suffer for progress or suffer for comfort? You don't need to change your entire life today. Just face one thing you've been avoiding. One call, one workout, one task. Face it, not to win, but to grow. Because every time you confront discomfort, you weaken fear's hold on you. You tell your mind, I'm the one in charge now. And when that happens enough times, you'll realize something powerful. Pain doesn't break you. Avoiding it does. So start small. Sit with the discomfort. Do it anyway. And each day, your threshold expands. You'll notice that what used to scare you becomes normal. What used to feel impossible becomes habit. That's transformation. Not overnight, but over time, through repetition and resilience. You were not made to live soft. You were built to grow through resistance. Look at nature. Trees grow stronger through storms, muscles through tension, minds through challenge. You are no different. Every time you embrace pain, you evolve. Every time you face discomfort, you build freedom. Because the real prison was never the pain itself. It was your avoidance of it. So, here's your wake-up call. The pain you've been avoiding. That project, that conversation, that dream. It's not your enemy. It's your path. Stop running. Start facing. Every scar tells a story. Every struggle sharpens your strength. Every challenge refines your character. You were not born to escape life. You were born to master it. So face it. Feel it. Conquer it. Because the pain you avoid becomes the prison you live in. But the pain you embrace, that becomes the freedom you earn.